We're going to start by preheating our pan. Get that mug nice and hot. Talking burn your ass off hot. Because that's what that's going to do, is that's just going to throw a sear. Just right on top. Well, not really a sear. It's just going to throw a crust right on the top of that thing right there. That's why we have heavily seasoned. Well, not heavily. I'd say like medium seasoned it. Just pretty good. Like, you could still see the red and the fat lines and where the eye is right there. And the cap right there. And then you got your bone right there. That's just how that goes. See, you can just kind of rub your finger on it a bit, and yep, it's already getting a little hot. You can leave your finger there for like 1 second, and then you feel that little burn afterwards. You know it's almost ready. So give it about another, say, 60 seconds, and that thing will be perfect. Okay, next. Okay, you start hearing little sizzles and pops. That means it's ready to go. We seasoned our steak heavily, so we're just going to take some extra virgin olive oil. I always spring for really good extra virgin olive oil because I just love the mess. Just want to put a little bit down and coat your pan. Coat the whole pan. As you can see, I do not have a lot of money, so we're using a little pan, but we're still going to get the job done. That's going to work out nice. And the reason we put we covered the whole thing in seasoning and it didn't just go salt and pepper is because you want that crust. Oh, that is how you want your meat to feel. You want it to just feel loose. You're just going to drop it right on there. And then you're just going to let that go on high for, I'd say, maybe 45 seconds. So we're just going to let that go. And then while that's going, got to keep our eye on the temperature. The flame control is most important when cooking any sort of steak or any meat in any fashion, whether it be barbecue, stovetop, oven. Heat control is 100% necessary. See, now we're going to go ahead and turn. We're just going to leave it actually up top. And then we're going to flip it. Where did I put my spatula? Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord. My spatula. Dirty. Damn. Alright. This is some, I've been doing this for quite some time, so you're just going to want to take it and flip it. And that right there, my friends, is what you are looking for. That is the money spot. Now we're going to go ahead, give it 15 seconds on top. Look at that. You can just see that grease. Not even grease, that is just juice. Just all right there. That is what you want to see, my friends. That is the good juice. That is exactly what you want to be looking for. Just a little bit, just sweating nicely. No juices is coming out. That's just some sweat. And now we're just going to turn it down. We're going to drop it down to like there. My stove goes to 6. We're sitting right at about a 3 right now. So just a touch over medium. And then we're just going to let that boy just go. Now, Now, gotta wash the hands. Touching raw meat, gots to always wash the hands. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now while that's finished, while the steak's finishing off, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this onion, cut this onion, cut this potato up into just thin slices down this way, and then I'm gonna take them and just strip them. Just make a nice little thin strips with that. All right, steak's done. Let it cook on that bottom side. Look at that. Just look at that. Look at that. That is just after cooking for about 3 minutes on the other side. 3.5, maybe 4 minutes tops. I turned it over one more time on low heat. Let it sit there for about another 30 seconds maybe, and now we're just going to go ahead and take it off and let it rest. Alright, we're over here just letting the meat rest. Letting it rest for about 5 minutes. The longer you let it rest, the better. That is just going to be good eating. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Alright, now with our pan, I didn't clean it yet. We have our pan. Did not clean it, didn't rinse it, nothing. Gonna leave all that goodiness right up in there. And we're gonna go ahead and throw in our potato slices. See how thin I slice these up? Just gonna go ahead and throw them in there. Move them around. Get them all up everywhere. That's how you want to do it. Just like that. Get them around. This one we might need to take out. Too thick. Put in another little guy. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead, put the heat back on. Low. About 2.5. 2.25. We'll go ahead, throw in some more olive oil. You can, it's about that much is fine. And then we're going to go ahead actually and add our mushrooms with that olive oil. Oops. Gotta wash the mushrooms. Didn't do it. Gotta wash them. Alright. Mushrooms have been washed. Now it is time to go ahead and throw those boys in with the potato, the onion. You're going to hear some popping because that's just the water hitting the oil. No problem. Again, you always want to keep your oil heat down to a minimum. I really like mushrooms, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that right there. Get all them boys in there. I'm just going to eat one right now. That's a fresh mushroom. Just give it a little swirl around. And you just throw it up, catch it, or drop one. That's it, just a couple times. Let it rest. Maybe turn the heat up a bit. We'll go 3. It's about that right there. Just so you are seeing what we're working with. And you can hear that little sizzle. That's what you want. That's everything sweating. Sweat. The mushrooms is sweating. Look at them. They're sweating. They're going to be so delicious. Alright. You can throw a little bit of the dry rub on there too. Okay. And remember, I'm going to put a list. That's my special blend. That is my dry rub. There's a link in description to it below. You can find it and purchase it. And I'll let you guys know what the main ingredients are, and then you can kind of improv your own from there, but it's all the basis to just a good dry rub. Sweating a bit. Pretty much you're looking at just chili powder, cayenne. Damn, those are good mushrooms. Just a touch of cayenne. A lot of people like to put use a little bit of paprika. I use salt, black pepper. God, I know I'm missing something. I gotta roll through my cupboard and check it out. But there will be a link to that below in the description. Don't let it cook a bit. Yeah, it sizzle, just let it roll. It's all good. See, you're munching down on mushrooms. You can kind of see the smoke and steam coming off it. That's what you're looking for. Matter of fact, threw a little bit of the dry rub on there. I'm actually going to just improv right here and just do a little tiny sprinkle of sugar. So let me grab my sugar. And it's got your standard just cane sugar, pure cane sugar. And I'm just going to give it a light little sprinkle right over the top of it. I always recommend using your hand, getting some in your hand and then using it that way to avoid just really pouring it on there and using too much, because it is just so easy to use too much and you only just want a bit. Just a tickle. Just a tickle. And he's going to give it a little swirl, a couple tosses. There we go. That's what you got to look for. Right there. Now I'm just going to let it go down. And then what we're going to do is, once these are done, we're going to take them out and make ourselves a good sauce. With the just drippings from the whole pan, just from the potato, the mushrooms, the juicy ribeye, which I believe is almost ready to rock. Oh yeah. Got this going. We're gonna use all the drippings and the sugar and just everything from that, and then we're gonna throw in some Worcestershire sauce, and we're gonna throw in some ketchup, which I got in the fridge, or did I take it out already? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna work that out in a second. Yeah, we're gonna put all that in there. A little more dry rub. Actually, a decent amount of dry rub. And then we're just going to mix it all together and just let it simmer down for a bit and get to the business. Alright, here we go. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and do the fork test on a couple of the thicker potatoes. You always want to choose a thick potato, because then you know they're all done. Having a couple extra little crispies, always good in my book. So let's just grab a fork and get that going. Okay, now we're just going to do a little quick fork test. Boom, perfect, right in. Boom, perfect, right in, right out. Right in, right out. We're done here. Turn that heat off. Let's lay our fork down over there. Okay. And we're just gonna lay it down. You don't really want them sitting on your steak. if you can avoid it. So just kind of adjust itself, or adjust it, whatever you want to do there. Get your mushrooms and potatoes down. Got your steak sitting there. Dang, looking good. And now for the sauce. The sauce, baby. The sauce. We're just gonna go ahead and go straight Worcestershire. All up in there. We're gonna go. So we got our tomato ketchup. That's about it. And then the rest is Worcestershire. So now we're just gonna let that cook down. And we're just gonna throw that on a medium heat. Let's say, yeah, medium high. Sitting there on a 5 right now. Right, here we go. Now we just let that cook down. My video memory is running low. My battery's almost done. So we're just gonna take this sauce and throw it on top of all my. We got the sauce. Now let's just go.